everything is fried for a reason. You know, you go into the grocery store and you see Oreo cereal, you see fucking Little Debbie cereal. Like, it's so crazy the stuff you see in the groceries. It's like sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. And if you know anything about sugar, it's more addictive than cocaine.
It is. It's the closest thing to it. What's good, BlockNation? I'm Queen.
I'm D.
And I'm Maverick. Welcome to BlockNation. Yes, we are back with another episode. Make sure you guys text BlockNation to 26786 to get our text opt-in, to get updates when we go live, have merch, anything that we have going on. You get a text and hear from us first. Also, shopblocknation.com. Head on over to shopblocknation.com to get your BlockNation merch.
But
it is. It's in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know,
the next thing we have to tackle is gender inequality, and discrimination that happens within society. Sexual harassment and assault, all of these things. Lack of comprehensive on sex education. I think that's a big one. Human trafficking. That's another issue we have. So just to kind of touch on that.
That was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. We could choose one.
Yeah, well, I guess if I had what came to my mind generally is when you see these, these are symptoms of a system in collapse. You know what I mean? When you and when you start to see this, this perversion, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you start talking about trafficking, when you see this stuff is really just a sign, of a system that's just gone wrong. And, these are some of the things that more people were coming aware of, but it's one of those things where it's definitely a touchy subject as well. Mm-hmm. But it's, these are issues that need to be addressed and that are critical and, on many layers, but there's a lot of things that, contribute to that. So
I think it's something that keeps us divided too, because that's
for sure.
Some of the biggest podcasts is, about the man versus the woman, the roles. So I think it's something that keeps us divided. It's society.
What's the biggest business in the world, yo? What's the biggest business in the world?
Is it drugs?
Nope.
No. People.
It's human trafficking.
The movement of people. And it's like, it's touchy because it's like taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it. But one of the biggest movies this year was about it. You know what I mean? Sound of Freedom. And they was trying to restrict people from even viewing the movie because they were sabotaging the theaters. And this is not no conspiracy theory. No, this is what actually was happening. Maverick, we touched on it on TikTok.
Yeah. So,
it's taboo, but it's literally the biggest business in the world. But when you think about it, it makes sense because, the movement of people, and I'm not going to get on it too much because, we're on YouTube, but that's the biggest business in the world, yo.
It's sad, bro. It's sad.
And here, I got some news today, and I don't know if we can touch on this. I'll touch on it a little bit, but I got some news today from an inside source that Ukraine is a part of that. And that's all I'll say. I don't know if that's Rumble Talk or whatever else. I got some information.
Yeah, let's stop right there. Yeah.
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 Listen.
That you word country,
Then Biden
you can't talk about the.
I don't even know, bro.
Then Biden just asked for another some more money to send over there.
Man, look, that man actually send the money every week. I don't even keep up with it.
I'll tell y'all off camera, but I got some crazy.
Biggest business in the world. Am I right or am I right?
No, it is.
No, you're right about that.
All right.
You're right about that.
All right, no problem.
The next we only got a couple more. The next conflict is that we have is war. So the civil wars, and internal strife, terrorism. So you know that's another issue. We talk about it now. We fighting wars right now. A lot of people don't realize we in war now. So you know,
war equals money. You know what I'm saying? Every time there goes a war, it's just like, yo, that's another way to profit. You know, like look at any movie in history about war. You know, Lord of War, with Nicolas Cage, when he was selling all these ratchets all across the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is a true story. He was selling all these guns to all these different territories and stuff like that, and getting it off because it was that time of the year. It was that time of the that place and time where people were going to war and fighting each other and stuff like that. So there's so much money to be made during wartime. And what time are we in right now?
Oh, it's definitely wartime.
Hey, didn't Biden release him for the basketball player?
Ooh,
that was a swap that they did. They swapped out the Lord of War for old girl who bought, I guess, some cannabis or something into Russia. I think it was.
Listen, okay, hold on. I'm a little sensitive. Hold on, like, nah. She had some little oil, some cannabis oil in her bag. You know, she go to Russia all the time. First of all, and we can go back to the women and the inequality. If the WNBA paid enough, her ass would have never been over there in the first damn place. If they paid them a little bit more bread. And don't get me started on that because they don't market them enough. Because women college basketball makes a lot of money. The WNBA, I don't know why. I don't know how women's college basketball makes more money than the pros, but that's where we at. One gets marketed, one better than the other one. But that's the only reason why she was over there. But yeah, he did do that bullshit. That was
I was just
no, you good. It's just it was part of the what we were talking about. But yeah, he definitely did that bullshit. That was a terrible trade. I would definitely say that. That was horrible. Like, that was a terrible trade. You just did what, boy? For who? Terrible. Oh my God.
Damn. Yeah. With war, like Dee said, war equals money. And this is why, you know, a lot of stuff happens, you know, conveniently when we're in some type of dire need of some cash. Like, we start in wars and poking our nose in a lot of people's business where it shouldn't be. And that's where, you know, if you look at history, you know, when we were talking about, you know, Saddam and Osama, like it transitioned really fast, right? If you think about it, like Osama, and then all of a sudden, no, you know what? We gotta go get Saddam. It's like, wait, hold up.
Did he work for the CIA?
Of course. Yes. They trained
people
him.
never put that part together when all this was going on.
He had so much intel, and he had so much. He evaded them because he used the tactics that they taught him.
They taught him, yeah.
So he had a lot of their armory stuff, like a lot of stuff. So he knew how to get off the grid. That's why they couldn't find him for so long. But then all of a sudden we had to switch gears and then go get Saddam and his oil. So that's where we're in dire need. We need to go start some shit to go make some money.
To have a reason just to justify our actions, for real. That's really what it's about. You're just trying to justify our action.
More about money. I mean, even during I think it was World War II. You know, we the United States, we was funding the war, and you know that Hitler was doing with Standard Oil. They were providing them the oil. You know, they would take Nazi gold. You know, war is about control. You know, it's about power. And then you know when all else fails, when you have an economy that's collapsing, or you have a masses of people that you can't control, they take us to war. That's why we see war going on right now, because they're losing control of the system. And one of the ways they gain back control is through war. And so, you know, this is why we, you know, kind of type, you know, this show is about, you know, the 10 ways that war is being waged on humanity in the areas, you know, that affect us.
Yep. And the very last one is health, inadequate healthcare access and disparities. That's a big deal. That's the spread of, because the spread of infectious diseases. So and they're using that as a weapon. They're weaponizing it. So that, you know, that's how we are where we are. That was that shock to the system that was needed. like we said, to justify their actions. They have to justify why they put you on lockdown, why you needed to go get this thing in your body. And then, they had to justify all of that. So
they had to put these state of emergencies in place to where they can throw out our constitutional rights and be like, well, this it doesn't matter that constitution. This is for safety. It's like they can change the rules on you.
When we look at, when you talk about the Tuskegee experiment on that side, where you have, saying the government and us and dealing with their healthcare system, or even when you go into the food industry and a lot of the chemicals that they're putting in the food here, that's not allowed overseas. And the effects that it has on us over time. And then people are just consuming this stuff over time. And, prevention is better than cure. But when you go to the doctor, I don't really think the doctor talks to you about nutrition, you know what I'm saying? Or, they don't talk to you about necessarily, what holistic health, like, unless you go to a holistic doctor.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not giving you this stuff on, the type of foods you're eating and how they aid in your illness. You know what I mean? But people are just continuing to consume and not understanding how this food and these chemicals affect you on a biomolecular state.
I tell people all the time, if you want to see the difference in the food, go Google a picture of people that were on the beach, just a random picture of a bunch of people on the beach in the 1980s or even the 1990s, and go Google people on the beach now. And remind you, remind you these people, it wasn't because they ate clean and they exercised, and these people was eating burgers, hot dogs, eating yams, mashed potatoes, and ham, just like you was.
All right.
And tell me what's the difference if they supposedly was eating the same food as you?
One of the best books I've ever read, and it happened right when I was, shifting my mind state, right? Nutricide by Dr. Africa. He pretty much broke down what Rick was talking about with the whole, how the food changes your DNA and, what you should be eating versus what you shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like it's everything is fried for a reason. You go into the grocery store and you see Oreo cereal, you see fucking Little Debbie cereal. Like it's so crazy the stuff you see in the groceries. It's like sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. And if you know anything about sugar, it's more addictive than cocaine.
It is. It's the closest thing to it.
Sugar's the worst. Yeah.
It's terrible. It's
more
terrible.
addictive than cocaine. So listen. Stay healthy because, we talk about all this financial stuff, but we got to stay healthy mentally and physically. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't around to see it, then what's the point?
Yep. But that brings me to my other point, though. This is what blows me because it's hard to stay healthy for people who are in rougher areas. Because what I'm noticing, and I noticed it when I moved to Maryland, like in the rougher areas, they don't have healthy choices around them. So you gotta think most of these people don't have vehicles. They can't get around. They can't. Yeah, like you got the unhealthy. You go in a convenience store, it's no healthy choices. You go outside, it's a damn CC's Pizza, it's Little Caesars.
Carry out, Asian carry out, Mambo sauce and wings, rice.
It's no healthy choices around. They don't have
the liquor store.
Yeah, the liquor store. That's the biggest problem. So it's hard for people to have them healthy choices, and you're not giving them none, and then they don't have, the means to get it. Everybody can't get around, so it's like, damn, how do I supposed to make healthier choices? And then the grocery stores that can Instacart me, huh?
No, I was saying that's kind of like Dave Chappelle when he was talking about like when he knew when he was in the hood that one time, he was like gun store, liquor store, gun store, liquor store. Where the hell am I at? Like, that's how it is. You just look around. Your whole environment is what you're consuming. So learn how to cook, y'all. If y'all don't cook, make sure y'all cook.
Real quick, guys, I had to add a layer since you talked about food and impoverished neighborhoods. Check all the colors of every single fast food joint. They all have a common color. They're either red, yellow, or orange. When it comes to McDonald's, Burger King, you know what I'm saying? Dunkin' Donuts,
Sonic.
Listen, and if you know anything about chakras,
it is.
The root chakra is what? Red. You know what I'm saying? Your chakra, right? chakra. Yeah, it's like yellow, orange. So it's like that's your survival. You know what I mean? That's your survival chakras. You know what I mean?
Where so located?
Down here.
There you go.
Down here. Down bottom.
They know what they're doing. It's that and the sexual aspect of it too. That's what they want. Ooh. That's why they want you watching pornography and stuff. But that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? But we know this was a lengthy video, and we appreciate everybody who watched it to the end. So I'm gonna just run down the topics that we discussed, which was economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, gender, war, and health. Okay, those were the topics that we discussed. Just to touch on some subjects that we needed to touch on, because ain't nobody talking about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? These are issues that we have in society that we need to tackle and fast. Hey, so shout out to Rick and all the value he just gave in this video, man. Shout out to Rick. We appreciate you. Like we say, Rick is an honorary member of BlockNation, man. He always come with that heat. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow my guy and subscribe to his YouTube. We're gonna leave all of that in the subscription below. Make sure you go to shopblocknation.com. Make sure you get in the Telegram, Real BlockNation, no spaces. And then Maverick, I'm gonna let you tell them the text opt-in number.
Yes. Make sure you text BlockNation, the word BlockNation, to 26786. Again, that's BlockNation, the 26786. That opts you into our text so you stay up to date.
For sure. So yeah, we'll see y'all for part 3.
Part 3 coming up.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Hold on, how you turn it? Oh wait, I think you gotta do it, Rick. You turn it.
Oh yeah.